previous lecture, we saw how we can create a trigger and insert the user ID in the profile table. Now, if you see, we have a couple of more tables over here, whether it's subscribed or not, and the interval as well. We also need to add one more column over here, the payment gateway that we will be integrating in this, and that is Stripe. So we'll need to have the Stripe customer ID associated with this particular ID. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and click on Edit Table, and within this, we'll add a column and we'll call it as a Stripe customer, and this is going to be of type text. And let's go ahead and click on Save now. Once saved, the column will appear over here. The next step that we need to do is create a Stripe account, and under test mode, you'll find the publishable key and the secret key. Let's go ahead and copy the publishable key, and our code will be heading to the environment local variable file that we have created, and over here we'll be providing the public key that we just copied. And then you'll notice that here I'm not prefixing it with next_public. I'm just giving it as a Stripe secret key. The reason behind that is these variables, which have next_public prefixed, they are available to the client side as well. But the variables where we don't have this prefix, those variables are only available on the server side. So here we need to now copy and paste the Stripe secret key. Let's go back to our Stripe dashboard, and I have copied the secret key from this. Now let's go ahead and paste the secret key that we copied and save this file. The next thing that we need to do is, in our code, we need to create an API which will be used to create the Stripe customer. And to do that, we'll be heading over to our pages directory, and within this we'll create a directory. We'll call it as API directory, and within this we'll create a file. Let's call it as create Stripe customer. Now within this file we need to do a couple of things. So the first thing is that we need to install the Stripe package. That we can do by making use of npm I Stripe, press enter. Now this has installed the Stripe package. The next thing that we need to do over here is make use of that package in our file. So we'll say import init Stripe from Stripe, and then we'll also import the Superbase. Now you'll notice that we have specified this path because the API directory is within pages, so we need this. And once we have that, we'll be creating a handler. Now this handler that we'll have will be of async type, and it will have our request and response. There was a typo, and here within this what we need to do is pass the secret key that we have created for Stripe. So that we can do by making use of the init Stripe, and here we'll make use of process.env Stripe secret key. So we now have the Stripe object with us, and using this we'll be creating our customer. And to do that, we have stripe.customers.create method, and within that we pass the email. Now the email will be retrieved using the request.body.record.email. So we are passing the email ID, we're passing the secret key over here, and once that's done, the next step is to insert this in our table, the profile table. So we are not basically inserting, we are kind of updating that. And to update it, what we need to do is we'll go back to our table over here, and here you can see we have this add RLS policy where we have row level security enabled, and here we'll need to click on started quickly, and we'll be selecting the first template over here which says enable read access to everyone, but we'll make some changes over here. We'll say use this template, and here even though the policy name says enable read access for all users, I'm going to select all over here because it does not give you that granular option, like you cannot select multiple ones over here. So we'll be going ahead with all, and because we are not authenticating anyone at the moment for this particular API test, and that's the reason why we're selecting all over here, and then click on review. So this is the policy that gets created, and let's click on save policy. Once the policy has been created, you can see that it has been applied to the profiles table. The next step would be open up our Thunder client, and here we'll be providing this URL, and should be localhost, and we'll then provide the API URL, that's API/create Stripe customer. Now we need to provide the request body as JSON. So here we'll be creating our record, and we'll provide the email ID that we have in our Superbase database, and then the ID of that particular user as well. So these are the two parameters that we're passing. And let's go ahead and click on send now. There we go. We are now getting the message Stripe customer created with the customer ID. Next step would be to verify this. So here we'll be going back to our profile table, and we'll be reloading this page. And there we have it. Our Stripe customer ID is coming up over here.